It's November 4th, 2024, and free agents have filed. Among those free agents, some Oakland Athletics, not too many. Here's the team as we get ready to pursue some free agents. I will go through some of the moves we made in the immediate aftermath of the offseason first, as we finish up, or I guess I should get into the season first. 68-94, last in the division. We had a point where we were above the Angels. They went ahead of us and finished 72-90. Our Pythag was 65-97, so we did overachieve a bit, but the month of September was very bad for us, as was the month of July. So with August being kind of above 500 month and starting off, I guess, decently strong, going above expectations, last two of the 3 months were not very good. Finished last in the AL in almost every offensive category except for walks and stolen bases. We finished first. In pitching, basically one of the worst staffs in baseball. We were middle of the pack in starter ERA when we had Alex Wood and a few other guys. But season wears on. Don't have more talented guys in. So right now, Mason Miller slots into the starting rotation. He's got finished the season with 2 WAR after coming back for a few games in September. You can see here he was a reliever then, but now he's a starter. He's a 60 potential guy there, so he'll slot in as our number 1, barring any additions. Blackburn sticks around. I thought about trading him, but kept him in arbitration for $4.7 million. Finished as an above-average starter last season in 27 starts. Did have a short-term hamstring strain, or I guess not really short-term, but he missed about 6 or 7 starts over 6 weeks with that hamstring strain. J.P. Sears was really the only starter besides Blackburn to pitch most of the year. I guess Tarnock went over 100 innings as well and finished as an above-average starter. Surprise season from him. I'm keeping him around to see if it happens again, but I don't expect it to. These ratings don't inspire confidence for me. Personally, Sears was better underlying. The underlying number said he was better than his ERA would say. Kind of slumped. He got hurt at the end of July and then into September. He was hurt towards the end of the year. So, looks like he lost 5 straight games. Wasn't a great back half of the year for him. Wasn't great for any of us. Brady Basso finished with a WAR in 89 2/3 innings. Kind of got blown up in the back half of the year as well. Joe Boyle closed when Mason Miller was hurt and didn't do much. Huascar Ynoa sticks around, also didn't do much. Waldachuk, I was happy with him. 3.92 ERA in 57 1/3 innings. He will be back around. I kept Sean Newcomb. People still want him, but I just haven't found the right offer yet. Zach Jackson, I brought up from AAA following the season. He had a poor showing there, but I want to see what these ratings can provide us, and he still has all 3 options available. Danny Jimenez also pulled up from AAA, all 3 options available, and 70 stuff. Stevie Emanuels, I had come up in September for 11 games. He pitched well, 2.49 ERA, 65 stuff. Just kind of a dart throw. He can start if need be. Salinas still up here. Didn't do much. Cantillo, disappointed in his time in the majors. Owen White was pitching really well, and then he had this rough stretch where he lost 10-0 against the White Sox. Let up 5 runs, 3 runs 2 days before. But other than that, was good. Had 1 start towards the end of the year that bumped his ERA almost by 30 points. Darius Vines, I traded Brent Rooker, John Birdie and this nothing relief prospect Wander Guante for him from the Atlanta Braves. He's kind of a similar skill set to everybody else, but he's got options. He's on a minor league deal right now and pitched well in AAA for the Braves this season. Well, I guess serviceably in 173rd innings. But I just think that he'll replace some of the guys we DFA'd that got claimed, that were out of options or going to arbitration or just didn't, have a role. Clevenger brought back in arbitration for $1.25 million. He was good for us in 14 innings. We'll just have to see what he does next season. Right now, he's a specialist lefty. I think he's better than Waldichuk in a relief role, but Kotze can do what he wants. Shea Langeliers finished as the best hitter this season for us, best position player overall. 2.9 WAR. It was a little higher, but he slumped in September. But as a catcher, 254, 320, 432, 17 bombs. That's a real good season for him. Didn't come home with any awards, but really good momentum going into next year after his first season and a half in Oakland didn't really lead to results like this. The BABIP has come up, but I think that it looks to be at least stabilized with his AAA averages. So this might be the real player that he is. We'll see, though. Catchers are always fickle in this game. We traded for Nick Gordon. I needed a lefty infielder. He is making $1.9 million in arbitration, but we have nobody on the payroll. Was an average starter this season. Average with the bat, can play anywhere on the infield, which is good because I just DFA'd Nick Allen. He was not going to come back on the 40-man with the season that he put together. I traded Kyle Mueller for Gordon. Mueller, who really struggled with us, but pitched well in AAA. Just thought the time had come, and I think he's out of options, so got rid of him and picked up a guy at a position we needed more. Denzel Clark was the second best hitter on the team behind Langeliers because of his defense in center field, boosting him to 1.6 WAR after 5 zone rating in center field. For Clark, I have him in the development lab. We can go to this real quick. I didn't put him in the development lab to work on his power. I put Lawrence Butler there to work on his power. And all these guys are frustrated or struggling. Esteury Ruiz, plate discipline, bad speed, defense at catcher for Soderstrom, improved Joe Boyle's control, plate discipline for Seth Brown, and for Zach Geloff to improve defensively, and none of them are taking to it, which is extremely frustrating for me. Can't imagine what it's like for them. J.J. Bleday ended the season on a cold streak and also got hurt, so he had like a 7-day injury. I took him out for the rest of the year. But you can see the last 2 months of the year, he just kind of fell off after being like a league average guy for most of the year. Wish this contact could come up. I thought about putting him in the development lab, but just picked other guys. He'll be back next year, though, and we'll see how he does. Matt Mervis, one of our better hitters when he came over from the Cubs, 173 plate appearances, .8 WAR, lefty guy. I'm pretty excited about him for next year. Butler, .8. Ruiz really came on at the end of the year. In August, a 142 OPS plus. In September, a 94 OPS plus. Better 2 months than any other this season other than March, which doesn't count because it's 16 plate appearances. So if he can keep that momentum going into next year, I have him hopefully trying to boost his eye so that he can get on base more as a leadoff hitter, but doesn't look like that's going well. So we'll just have to see who he is next season with the BABIP coming up a bit more, and if it stabilizes to what he is, he's a dangerous player still. Soderstrom wasn't as bad as he was a season ago in Oakland. About a quarter of the plate appearances, though. Who else we got? Wisdom really cooled off. He was up to like a WAR of value, and then just kind of disappeared in August and September after a nice June and July. I tried to trade him. Nobody wants him, and I wasn't going to non-tender him. This skill set for $3.5 million is still valuable for us. We don't have a lot of guys with 60 tools, so keeping Wisdom, and he'll still play third. Who else we have up here? Jaloff rebounded nicely to just be a neutral player. Hernandez, I had him up at the end of the year. He took 3 plate appearances in a single game. Seth Brown, bad hitter, bad defender. So not much you can do about that. I guess he is a plus defender still. And then Vargas really didn't hit well at all for us in 112 plate appearances. Just bad. Unfortunate, because I want him to have a future with the team. Notice, same thing. I kept giving him opportunities, but I can't have a black hole in the lineup like that for so long. So he produced in AAA, just couldn't in the majors this year, but he'll be back on the minimum. And then Connor Wong I claimed on waivers from the Red Sox, who had an awful year with them, but he is our third catcher for the time being. He does have options, I think. No, this is his last option here. Whatever. I mean, Soderstrom, we'll see if he catches. I just think Connor Wong, skill set for a catcher is pretty good, and he's a leader, and, we'll figure it out with him. And then the last guy that's on the 40-man right now, Donovan Walton, we just acquired from the San Francisco Giants. Did not have a good year with them at all. Decent year in AAA, but he's a captain, lefty infielder. Maybe not the best defensively, but he fits a role for us. So that's it for the Major League guys. Made some moves in the minors, but I should talk more about the moves we made generally. So if I can find anything here. Lugbauer and Pozo are free agents. I want to try and get them back, I think. Mitch Spence was claimed on waivers. I kept him on the roster the whole year just to waive him, and he got claimed. Unfortunately, he's on the White Sox. Holman also got claimed by Cleveland. Martinez by the Angels. Armenteros by Philadelphia. Medina by Toronto. I probably could have looked into trade offers for these guys, but for the most part, they're 40, 45 potential guys over the age of 25. No options left. I didn't think teams would want to send anything for him. Here's the Rooker trade. He just was bad. And the ratings have fallen off. I thought that last season could be repeatable for him, but not with us. So he's out of town. Here's the Mueller for Gordon deal going to November. I don't think we had anything. J.D. Davis is a free agent. He wants a good deal of money. This has come down, but again, 50s on the board here, 55i. We have replacements for him that aren't costing us $9 million, so I just don't think we're going to go after him. I'd give Vargas a shot. I'd give Mervis, obviously, a shot. And then, Wisdom can move to first if we have another guy that plays third, or we bring somebody else in. So Davis probably won't be with us again. Our other free agents here, and then just some moves. We traded this guy for Donovan Walton. They just gave him to us. Took a quick look at the trade block on the first day of free agency, and I found him. So I have an idea of the free agents I want to target, and some other trade targets that I'll have to wait a minute for. I guess one other trade target is Brandon Woodruff, only making $5 million next year with a team option for $20 million, with a $0 buyout. So I could take him on this $5 million contract for a year and trade him. He did play a little bit for Milwaukee this season, but shoulder inflammation knocked him out. He's out for 3 more weeks, and then I can make an offer for him. I'm going to try and see if I can get Brandon Woodruff. But other than him, let us look into some of the guys we're looking at. So Jesus Gurindo is one of the 3 generated international free agents that I'm looking at. The thing is, with these guys, he's 23. He's 75 potential pitcher. I I have a highly favored tools scout, so he might be bumping these ratings up a little bit. But even still, that's like a 50 average pitcher. And really good personality class. And his demands 5 years, $50 million. And I just feel scummy signing a guy to that. Like, I'll show you the other two that are even worse in that regard. Hoshihito Furutani, who fits a need. I should say we're on the lookout for a right-handed corner infielder, left-handed third baseman, and 2 starting pitchers as well as any bullpen help that we can get, and a shortstop, starting shortstop. So corner outfielder, third baseman, shortstop, 2 starters, relievers. Furutani fits for a left-handed third baseman. He's got the platoon splits for it. Very good defensively, but he wants $1.2 million. This is like a multi-year guy. So I might just let another team go after him. I feel not great signing that contract. Same with, so Moncada is a worse player, I would say, at this stage. He's a worse quality third baseman. I don't know. Depends on what kind of player you like, but he's got a better eye, better avoid Ks, probably better power. Definitely better power, but Moncada's got the contact. And Moncada wants, at the same age, 3 years for nearly $20 million. And that's not like a huge chunk of money, but it's surely a lot more than $1.2 million. So I probably will not go after him. That's just a bridge too far. And then I believe there was another guy. Where'd he go? There was another Japanese starter that wanted $1 million. Not Yusei Kikuchi. Where is he? He was a 45. Norogumi Matsumoto. 80 stuff potential. Wants $1.4 million. 26. I mean, like, I guess for a pitcher I can offer him. I'll offer him, and that's it. I won't offer the really good starter who wants too much below market value considering what Yamamoto got this past offseason. So I'm going to take him off the short list, offer Matsumoto, and then took the other guy off. So that leaves us with Andrew Haney, who wants 2.6, Kikuchi, Lauer, Colin Ray, Clark Schmidt, Luis Severino, and $3 million. No, not in the mood. Velasquez 2, and Woodruff for 5. Those are the starting pitchers I'm taking a look at. I think I like the guys with like a demonstrated skill set. So Ray has 60 control, and I like that as a guy. He's a control artist. Schmidt, potential for 60, 55 movement. Velasquez has some strikeout stuff still left and succeeded in Colorado in a short stint. And then obviously Woodruff's an all-around starter. Relievers don't have as many that you'd expect. There's not a lot of guys that want to go for a minor league deal yet. Diekman, former A, right? For a minute, 3 seasons. Diekman, Gose. Love Anthony Gose on this team. Maybe he can play a little center field for us. Adam Ottavino, Luis Perdomo, Greg Weissert, and Rob Zastryzny. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I might take him off the list. He's a lefty, but no, I'll keep him there. So 3 lefties, 3 righties in the relief department. Catcher, still in the market to bring back Luke Bauer on a minor league deal. Reese McGuire to be a backup lefty catcher. Narvaez, same thing, but he'd be more of a stretch luxury, wanting $2.8 million. And then Yohel Pozo, I'd like to bring him back to our minor league system once he wants a minor league deal. Nick Ahmed, I'm looking for at starting shortstop. Cavan Biggio is a left-handed utility guy. Crawford, left-handed shortstop. DeYoung, shortstop. left-handed utility. Frazier, Nicky Lopez for shortstop, Mateo for short, Moncada for that third baseman signing, Rosario. We'll see. He wants a little more money than I'm willing to give out for a guy with his skill set, and not exactly great defensively, but he had a good season in the major leagues with Tampa Bay, so that inspires some confidence in him. Ignacio Sandoval, I had not known who he was, but I guess he played for the Braves and the Mariners and Rays and Mets. I feel like this has to be somebody else. I would have heard of somebody named Ignacio Sandoval. Is it El Monte? I don't think it can be. Are all the KBO guys rolling? Are all the KBO guys randomized these days? Because I know G-Man Choi was randomized. I guess I wouldn't know a way to tell. Nice. Sungbom Na. It's a real guy. Okay. I don't know. So he's just some guy. Ignacio Sandoval. He's got 75 outfield range. And that's enough for me to consider him as a player I want. And then Rob Refsnyder as the platoon righty outfielder is the only free agent we could afford that fits that mold. Was okay in Toronto in a platoon role. And then Sandoval would also fit that, but he's more of a defensive replacement than an offensive guy. So this is who we're looking at in free agency. I'm going to wait a minute to see when the prices go down, maybe get these guys for a bit cheaper, considering that they're not game-breaking fixes for our lineup. We already have the guys that we want to put out there, and I think we've substantially upgraded at several positions with Gordon, Mervis coming over, Vargas, Wisdom. Guys that we added throughout the season I think are just better than what we had. I think pitching needs to be improved, but we'll have to see who's out there on the trade block. Any last things here? I guess I should go through the awards and the playoffs. I'll go through the playoffs first. I messed this up. I was trying to change the playoff format for the Dominican League, and I guess the option was still ticked for the majors. So there was a wild card game, a division series of 3 games, and a championship series of 3 that the Mariners won. This was supposed to be the format for the Dominican Summer League. But just kind of close your eyes and think, oh, the Mariners swept everybody 4-0, 4-0, took out the Dodgers. And so they win their first World Series title in our division with Cal Raleigh hitting 30 bombs, nobody more than 20, though. Besides him, Ty France having a decent year batting average-wise. Cal Raleigh might be their best hitter. They did this with a bottom-tier offense, but like the best pitching staff in baseball. Kirby came away with 9 votes for MVP. He won Cy Young, but he didn't win MVP. Bobby Witt Jr. did. Castillo, Gilbert, Trevor Rogers. Did they trade for him this year? Yeah, at the deadline. Who'd they give up? Ryan Anderson and 2 nothings. Yeah, so the Mariners have pitching this season. They even added Mark Leiter Jr., got Gregory Santos. Yeah, they're looking good on that side. Rodriguez didn't really have a great season, but he'll probably bounce back next year and has his first ring. So the Mariners win it all. The Dodgers come up short with Ohtani hitting 53 bombs and Freeman hitting 41. They traded for Brendan Donovan. Actually, they just did that, so he wasn't part of the lineup before, but they were the best offense in the league. Number 1 in homers. But Yamamoto, I guess, was way better FIP-wise. Were they just bad defensively? If it'll let me go. They're average in the National League, but Glasnow struggled. Bobby Miller struggled. Ohtani came back and pitched 3 games and was good. Kershaw struggled. And the pitching just wasn't great for them, but they made it 99 games to the World Series and lost. And if I go to the awards, if I can find them, where do they start? Here's your Gold Gloves, bunch of Yankees. Here is your Gold Gloves in the National League: Cubs, Giants, Diamondbacks, Brewers. Reliever Brock Stewart of the Minnesota Twins. Gregory Santos behind him. Edwin Diaz for the National League. Ryan Barucki getting some votes. Yuki Matsui. Interesting. Silver Sluggers. Danny Jansen getting a lot of love from out of the park this year. 70 potential, the best catcher in the league, most likely at this point. Did they just sign him to this? Or no, he wants $32.9 million in free agency as a catcher. Paredes comes through with a Silver Slugger at third. Trout wins another Silver Slugger in center, but only plays 118 games, has not played 140 games since 2018. Mike Trout. Eloy, DH, Silver Slugger, that's fun. National League, Kelenic, coming back from being one of the worst players in the league, and of course the Braves pulled this off with him. Acuna, Shohei, Corbin Carroll. Number one rookie, Jackson Holliday in the American League, splitting votes with Wyatt Langford, but Holliday, 5 WAR, a lot of value coming from his middle infield positions: Shanuel, Caminero, Carter, and Colt Keith getting 1 secondary vote. Look at that skill set for him. Whew. But didn't put it all on the field this year. 29 bombs, though, getting ready for him to be good for us. It'll be fun. Jordan Lawler, a guy the Tigers passed up on to take Jackson Jobe, who's a good prospect in his own right, wins National League Rookie of the Year. James Wood getting votes. Yamamoto getting votes. If he had been better, I think, with the ERA, he'd probably have won it. Jackson Chourio. Joey Ortiz, how'd he do? Good with the glove. Good with the glove for the Brewers. Carson Whisenhunt. 3 WAR as a rookie starting pitcher for the Giants. That would mean a lot for them, I think. Don't get Blake Snell in this, but they do have the best ERA in the National League from their starters. But the bats, oof. Rough stuff from the Giants on offense. Scott Service. Why did it just bump me to the top? That's annoying. Where were we? Service and Roberts, managers of the year. Kirby, AL Cy Young. Blake Snell backs him up. Anybody fun? NL side, third place, Shota Imanaga. The 3.01 ERA. Strider splits with Webb. So Strider led the league in strikeouts. 311. Man, 3.51 ERA. So this is kind of a similar story to last year, where he wasn't like wonderfully spectacular with his ERA, but his FIP was actually worse this year. Really good last year. A lot of strikeouts. Missed out last season on it, but he had 35 starts, 311 strikeouts. That's got to get you something. He walks away with the Cy Young, even though Logan Webb led the league in innings pitched with 241, 2.99 ERA, and bottom in the league in walks. If it was up to me, Logan Webb, I mean, that's a season that I don't know is ever going to come back into style. A 241 innings pitched season with an ERA under 3, and this is his 4th straight season, kind of hovering around 3. He's a great pitcher for the Giants. AL MVP Bobby Witt Jr., Tristan Casas, number 2, Danny Jansen, 3. I feel like he should have had a better shot at MVP. George Kirby, 2. If he led the league in strikeouts, he would have gotten a pitching triple crown, led an ERA, and wins. Anybody else that's interesting? Royce Lewis, pretty high placement for him. Tristan McKenzie on the Rangers now, after being traded for Sam Huff and Jason Morabel. And Acuna for the NL with Shohei receiving votes. Jordan Walker, good year. Jeff McNeil. Pete Alonso. What did he do? 35 homers? Jordan Westberg released a swing album. So, that'll do it for this season. Next video will be where the A's are playing next. Any moves that I make in free agency, the team will be remade. We'll be in a different city. And that's it for baseball in Oakland. One last 24 home run season. Or I guess Patrick Wisdom only hit 17 of them with us. 17 in 78 games? Come on, man. Yeah. That does it for this season. 2024. We'll be back with 2025. This video is coming out Friday. That'll be up on Monday. See you then.